Hey, good morning. Welcome to day two of our Gratitude Week project. I am so excited that you are here. I am very grateful for the time, the energy, and effort that you've been putting on sharing these next few days with me with the small practices. And I hope that yesterday was a good start for you and that you realize that you really don't need a lot of time taking out of your day in order to start developing a gratitude practice. So today we continue appreciating and giving thanks to ourselves, to the person that we are, to the things that we've been doing, because we've been showing up, we've been putting in the work. Even when we don't feel like putting in the work, even when we don't feel like showing up, we are still here, we are still doing, and everything that we have and everything that we are is a result of us. So let's appreciate us. Let's appreciate who we are with all of our flaws and all of our challenges and all of our blind spots and all of our beauties, because this is who we are. And if we don't appreciate ourselves, who else will? So let's extend that kindness and appreciation that we extend to others. Let's extend that to ourselves first. Let's start with us first, because like I said before, we can give that of which we don't have. So let's strengthen the muscles of appreciating who we are, what we do, what we give to the world, so then we can actually appreciate who those people are and the things and their gifts that they give to the world as well. So in our journal practice today, as you saw, we are adding another layer to the gratitude journaling practice of the 3 things that we are grateful for. And today we are adding the daily win. So that means that at the end of the day, or if you were doing that in the morning, you were looking at the day prior, we are going to look back at how our day went, and we are going to have to find a daily win, big or small. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be just a raise on your paycheck or a promotion or winning the lottery or finally signing that contract. It doesn't have to be only that. Of course it can be that. Please add that if you achieve such a success like that. We have to celebrate every win that we have in life, big or small. But I want to open up the space here for the small wins that sometimes we just brush it off as whatever. And those could be, anything that we did that directly touched someone in a positive way. So for instance, I actually had a client telling me yesterday that he went to grab a glass of water for himself and he brought 4 more in a little tray and just put it on the table, and people were just so grateful to him because they were all thirsty, but no one wanted to get out of the table to go grab water. You see, that's a small thing, that's a small act, but it is an act of kindness nonetheless. And his small act of kindness made 4 other people happy and grateful to him. So that's a small win. I am sure that yesterday or today or sometime in the future, those 4 people are going to pay that forward. They are going to do something nice and kind to someone else, because that's what happens. Like, there's no other way. Every act of kindness is usually received with a paying forward kind of act of kindness. Oh, my tongue is a little bit tied up today. So let's celebrate that, right? So anything that you are directly responsible for, any positive effect that you're directly responsible for, any positive results that you achieved that day, any compliment that you've received, that's a win too. When someone compliments you for anything, just take that as a daily win. That means that someone took the time to tell you something nice. That's also another act of kindness. So why are we doing this? Why did I add that to your journaling practice? So here is the deal, right? When we force ourselves to look back at our day and find daily wins, we are now forcing our brain to look for something that is positive and it's going to make us happy. Once the brain finds that, once we find a little daily win, the brain is going to get a little dose of dopamine. And dopamine is that hormone that makes us feel good and wants us to keep on doing so we can get more. So once the brain gets that dose of dopamine and it feels good, the brain wants to do it again. So we start a cycle right there. We find the little daily win, and the brain gets a dose of dopamine. We feel really good. We want to look for another one. We find another one. We get a dose of dopamine. It feels really good. We look for another one. We find another one. And that goes. We create this positive cycle. Do you get it? That's why we need to keep doing this. And it doesn't matter if it's small or big. The brain doesn't get more dopamine if you get a raise on a paycheck than if someone just complimented you in a genuine way that you received it. Do you understand that? The dose of dopamine is still the same. So let's take time to look for big and small wins so we can keep getting that dose of dopamine and keep feeling good about ourselves and the things that we do. Because once that cycle starts, we create momentum, and we create momentum for progress within ourselves, progress in our lives, progress that will achieve others and create the ripple effect and achieve others, like I said. And there we start a movement. You see how we can get started very easily? We are not saving the world, but we are starting right here in ourselves and the people around us. And those people around us start doing the same thing because we always, because of our mirroring neurons, we always respond to people in the way that they are talking to us, the emotions that they are giving to us. We pick that up and we respond in kind. And once I respond in kind to you, I go to the other person and I still have those same emotions. So I'm spreading around the same emotions. So instead of spreading anger and hatred and frustration, let's work with each other and spread more acts of kindness and gratitude and appreciation to one another, starting by ourselves. Our breathing of the day, the breathing technique that I'm sharing with you guys is the belly breathing, which is such a great technique because it really helps calm the nervous system, right? And that is so because usually when we are rattled by emotions, when we are angry, upset, frustrated, anxious, nervous, we hold a lot of those emotions up here on the upper part of our upper body. And when we breathe into our bellies, now we are bringing energy down to the bottom part of our upper bodies. And so we have energy up here from the emotions, and then we have energy down in the belly from the breathing. Now we have energy on both ends of the upper body, and that creates balance. When we create that balance, then our nerve system calms down, and we are able to be a little bit more reasonable in logic. This breathing technique, though, works differently for the different Enya types, right? And we've been talking about the Enneagram, so I'm going to explain how that works. For Enya types 2, 3, and 4, because they are feeling types, all of their energy is concentrated on the top part. It's a lot on the heart, it's a lot on the chest, it's a lot on the shoulders, it's a lot of tension. So belly breathing is the best techniques for Enya types 2, 3, and 4 because, like I just explained, it brings a lot of energy also to the lower part of the upper body, balancing out the entire upper body, which helps calm the nerve system. Now, Enya types 5, 6, and 7, they are the thinking types, right? And so 5s and 6, they are really intellectual and they tend to hold their breaths a little bit. Again, putting some tension up on the very top part of our upper body. So we need to expand the chest and the belly. That's the best way to help 5, 6, and 7s. 7s are very physical types. They move a lot, so they actually have a lot of energy on those limbs, and it's really important to actually balance out the upper body as well. So 5, 6, and 7s, belly breathing should be paired up with chest breathing. So the way that we do it is you take a deep inhale and you fuel up the belly first. Bring some air into the chest and you fill it all up so you can actually expand the whole upper body. As you exhale, you collapse the lungs and you hollow out the belly, right? And then you hold that hollow for a little bit. And then you start all over again with a deep breath in. You really fill up the belly, like you're stretching it out. I should have recorded in a different way so you can actually see my belly stretching out, like just like a Buddha belly. But bring a little bit of that air to the top too. And then like even you can open up your arms a little bit more so you can stretch all of the upper body with the lower part of the upper body as well for 5, 6, and 7s, and really open up the chest. And then as you exhale, everything collapses and hollow out. This way, you're really stretching and contracting the upper body completely, and you will be able to find balance for 5, 6, and 7s. 8, 9s, and 1s, they are the intuitive types, right? So a lot of that energy is already happening on their bellies. So for them too, the chest and belly breathing is the best combination that they are going to find. So when you take a deep breath in, fill up your belly, bring air into the lungs, open up the lungs. Then when you exhale, collapse the lungs and hollow out the belly. On the next breathing, only fill up the top part, only fill up your lungs, don't fill up your belly. Then you collapsed. On the third breath, fuel up your belly and fill up the lungs, opening it all up. And then as you exhale, start exhaling from the lungs, then hollow up the belly, and just switch off back and forth like that so you can work out the balance of your upper body for 8s, 9s, and 1s. So the mantra of today, it's such a beautiful one because again, it's helping us radiate that appreciation and gratitude from ourselves into others, because tomorrow we will start expanding our gratitude to others. So our mantra, I appreciate the abundance in my life and I will allow myself to expand gratitude, success, and joy every day. We are giving that abundance to ourselves. We are taking that gratitude and appreciation to ourselves, but at the same time now we start expanding, just like a sun, right? So we expanded it out, so now it's radiating towards everyone who is around us, everything that is around us, and making us this beautiful sun full of energy. Because like I said, starting tomorrow, we will start extending our gratitude practice to other people, which is really important, to those around us. So I just wanted to make a little comment because I got a couple of DMs from you guys asking me about the Enneagram. And so on tomorrow's email, I am going to link up some Enneagram tests, websites. I don't do that testing. I don't have the software. I don't have the license. I don't do that, but I will totally direct you if you are interested to learn a little bit more about the Enneagram so you can take your test and find out what personality type you are. There are 9 on the Enneagram. Like I said, it's a little bit similar to Myers-Briggs, but it's a little bit more comprehensive and more expensive. Besides knowing if you are an introvert or an extrovert, the Enneagram explain different layers and variants of that introvert and extrovert, for instance, right? Under different circumstances with different people. So the Enneagram to me is it's a tool that is more comprehensive because it looks at the human being as this very complex being with several layers built up since the moment that we were born. As you know, it looks at our defense mechanisms, it looks at our blind spots, it looks at our biggest challenges, our fears, it looks at our gifts, it looks at our strengths, it looks at many different things like that. So I like the Enneagram better. I will link up some information about the Enneagram on tomorrow's email, and if you're interested, go for it. Like I said, at the end of this program, I'm going to be talking more about the Enneagram so we can start a new project together. But this is it for day 2. Thank you so much for being here with me. I appreciate so much your time, your energy, and your effort, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.